So in this session, in the Shastra class, the students have been learning from the Fourth Canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which talks about devotional service in 3 different modes. We have been studying about the pastimes of Dhruva Mahārāja, which talks about performing devotional service in the mode of passion. So to start off, it all started when a little boy, 5-year-old Dhruva, desired to sit in the lap of his father. Little did he know that this desire would lead him to embark on a journey that he had never imagined before. Now we have Madhav, who is going to be talking to us about the different characters that are involved in this pastime.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. I'm going to be talking about the characters in this pastime. In this pastime, I'm going to be talking about King Uttanpāt, Queen Suruchi, Queen Suniti, Dhruva Mahārāja, and Narad Muni. In the story, the grandson of Lord Brahmā, the son of Swayambhuva Manu, is King Uttanpāt, and he has 2 wives. The older wife is Queen Suniti, and the younger wife is Queen Suruchi. The son of Queen Suniti is Dhruva, and the son of Queen Suruchi is Uttama. King Uttanpāt is very favorable and biased towards Queen Suruchi, the younger wife, and is neglectful towards Dhruva Mahārāja and towards Queen Suniti. His problem was that he was very attached to Queen Suruchi, and hence he could not give equal love to Dhruva and Queen Suniti. Next is Queen Suruchi. Queen Suruchi is the younger and more dear wife to King Uttanpāt. She has 1 son named Uttama. She is very harsh, arrogant, and very jealous. She tells Dhruva that he is not qualified to sit on the king's lap, and if he wants to sit on the king's lap, he has to take birth from her womb, and she forces him off the king's lap. Her problem was that she was very envious. Next is Queen Suniti. Queen Suniti is the older but less dear wife to King Uttanpāt, and she has 1 son named Dhruva. Queen Suniti is very wise. She's very wise. She's very understanding. She's very intelligent, and most importantly, she's a great devotee of Lord Viṣṇu. She first understands Dhruva's problems, and then she instructs him to go to the forest to meditate on Viṣṇu. Her problem was that she was mistreated by the king. Next is Dhruva Mahārāja. Dhruva Mahārāja is the son of Queen Suniti and King Uttanpāt. He is very courageous, brave, and determined to achieve his goals. And he is also very obedient because he does not back answer to Queen Suruchi when Queen Suruchi speaks harshly to him, but he instead obeys her orders, and then he goes to his mother for advice, who then tells him to go to the forest, where he meets Narad Muni, and with the help of Narad Muni, he is able to meditate on Viṣṇu. In the forest, he performs severe austerities until the Supreme Lord finally comes in his presence. His problem was that Queen Suruchi spoke very harsh words to him. Finally, it's Narad Muni. Narad Muni is the guru of Dhruva Mahārāja, and he is one of the greatest devotees of Lord Viṣṇu. He is very instructive, helpful, and guides Dhruva. He first tests Dhruva's determination, and once Dhruva passes, he gives him the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra and blesses him. These are the characters in this pastime. Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
As we learn how Dhruva was treated harshly by his stepmother, it is very easy to blame her and get affected by her behavior. But if it wasn't for Suruchi's harsh behavior and her harsh words towards Dhruva, Dhruva wouldn't have sought out after the Lord, and he wouldn't have gained the mercy of the Lord. Even though he had reversals at this young age of 5 years, Dhruva surrendered to the Lord. Even though he had material desires, he took shelter of the Lord. Even for us, we need to know that whatever reversals that happen in our life is an arrangement of the Lord. Now we have Vedant, who is going to be talking to us about how we can see reversals as Kṛṣṇa's mercy.
Hare Krishna. I'll be talking about seeing reversals as Krishna's mercy. So, what is a reversal? A reversal is an adverse change of fortune. What forms can Krishna's mercy come in? Krishna's mercy doesn't always come through good situations, but it can also come through realizations from adversities and reversals. Now I'll be telling you a story of a spiritual personality who also faced a reversal and how he took it as Krishna's mercy. The spiritual personality's name is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was once hunting and got very thirsty, so he came to a sage's house. The sage was meditating and so did not notice Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj then got angry and took a dead snake with his bow and put it around the sage's neck. He then left to his kingdom. When the sage's son came back and saw this, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj that he would die in 7 days. Parikshit Maharaj then, when he heard this, went to Sukadev Goswami to listen to the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The reversal that Parikshit Maharaj faced in this story was that he was cursed to die in 7 days. And he took it as Krishna's mercy by, instead of spending time in his kingdom or being sad, deciding that taking this as an opportunity to hear about Kṛṣṇa. How is Kṛṣṇa our well-wishing friend? Kṛṣṇa is always wishing good for us, but since we're in the material world, we cannot see the bigger picture which Kṛṣṇa can see, and so we think that what he's doing for us is bad, even though it isn't. How can we surrender to Kṛṣṇa's mercy and accept his will? To surrender to Kṛṣṇa's mercy, we must know that we are not the controller, and whatever Kṛṣṇa is bringing upon us is for us to improve in our bhakti. Even though it may seem bad at the moment, it is going to help us in the long term. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you.
After Dhruva received instructions from his spiritual master, Narad Muni, he meditated. He meditated for 6 months, and when he opened his eyes, he saw the same Lord standing in front of him. It was the same form that he had been meditating upon. However, when the Lord appeared in front of him, Dhruva was not able to say anything. Dhruva felt extremely unqualified. It was then that Lord Narayan touched Dhruva's head with his conch shell, and then Dhruva was empowered to glorify the Lord. The words that emanated from Dhruva's mouth, Srila Prabhupada describes that those words were like the sound vibrations emanating from the Vedas. Now we have Vraj, who is going to be talking to us about how to receive spiritual knowledge.
Hare Krishna. We learned that when Dhruva Mahārāja was very young and had never attended school before, so why was he qualified to receive the Vedic knowledge? He was qualified because of his severe penance, forgetting his material desires, and his implicit faith in his spiritual master Narad Muni. We also see that when the Lord approaches Dhruva Mahārāja is unable to speak because he feels unqualified. So the Lord taps his conch shell on Dhruva Mahārāja's forehead. When the Lord does this, this is called Brahma Maya. If we want to do anything for the Lord, we need the Lord's mercy and blessings. And to get those mercy and blessings, we must offer our devotion unto him. Because we cannot offer anything else, because the Lord already has all material opulences. How do we become enlightened like Dhruva Mahārāja? We can become enlightened by studying Srila Prabhupada's books with devotion and determination, and through our efforts, Kṛṣṇa will be pleased. We can also share this Kṛṣṇa consciousness with other people by distributing books, inviting people to temple, and doing Sankirtan. One person who did all of these things was Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada was no ordinary person because of his intense desire to serve the orders of his spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
In the practicing stages of bhakti, it is very natural at first for us to have material desires. Even Dhruva, when he set off on this journey, he had material desires. But later on, when he got the audience of the Lord and when he did devotional service, that's when he realized what he was asking for, mere grain of grass. Now we have Shivansh, who's going to be talking to us about how material desires are inferior to spiritual desires.
Hare Krishna. So first, we can compare asking Kṛṣṇa for material desires how can we compare asking Kṛṣṇa for material desires to asking an emperor for a few grains of rice? This can be said because our material desires are temporary and only last for a short period of time. While we're asking Kṛṣṇa, who's an emperor of everything, we can ask for something that makes more sense, which is spiritual desires. They last forever and we can enjoy them forever. An example of this is when Lord Brahmā was offered a boon from Lord Nrsimhadev. Instead of asking for material desires, he asked for a spiritual desire to serve the Lord. 2. How can pure devotional service purify material desires? Pure bhakti to Kṛṣṇa can purify material desires the same way a water filter purifies dirty water. So first, where do material desires come from? They come from our mind, and our mind is either our greatest enemy or best friend. So pure devotional service to Kṛṣṇa can, with no expectations of the rewards, can make our mind our greatest friend. 3. One material desire I had was getting new soccer cleats, and I was tremendously happy when I got them. But after a month, I treated them like my old soccer cleats, and I didn't even clean them that much. But one spiritual desire I had was to serve at the Festival of the Holy Name in Alachua, Florida, which I'm still thankful and happy to Kṛṣṇa that I was able to do. This shows that spiritual happiness lasts forever, and spiritual desires are much better than material desires. How can we use our material benedictions to serve the Lord? We can use our material benedictions to serve Kṛṣṇa. We can use our material benedictions to serve Kṛṣṇa by thanking Kṛṣṇa for whatever we do. An example of this in my personal life is I'm good with communication with other people. This helps me serve Kṛṣṇa by giving out his teachings in book distribution. Hare Krishna.
So even though Dhruva's desires, his material desires were fulfilled, Dhruva did not feel happy, he did not feel satisfied, and he laments. Now we have Vedansh, who has written a letter of apology from Dhruva Mahārāja to Lord Narayan asking for forgiveness.
Hare Krishna. This is my letter from Dhruva Mahārāja to Lord Narayan. Dear Supreme Lord Narayan, I offer my humble obeisances unto you. After long and severe austerities, I have finally approached you, only to have asked for material prosperity. This is due to my childish nature, since I am only 5, and due to my nature as a Kshatriya, causing me to ask for a kingdom greater than Lord Brahmā himself, aiming to surpass all my superiors. I now realize this to be irrelevant to my path to attain you, and if I had a second chance, I would have asked for unwavering devotion to you lifetime after lifetime. For the remainder of my life, I will offer devotional service unto you so that I can become your eternal devotee. With this humble obeisance and sincere gratitude, your devotee, Dhruva Mahārāja.
Dhruva then reached his kingdom, where he was warmly welcomed by everybody. Soon after a few years, Dhruva was enthroned, and then he was ruling the kingdom very wisely. One day, he found out that his brother Uttam had been killed while he was out hunting. He was killed by the Yakshas. Dhruva immediately became angry and set out to kill all the Yakshas. As devotees, we are told that we are not supposed to get angry, we are not supposed to be envious, or we are not supposed to lament. However, Srila Prabhupada says that in certain situations, based on our nature, it is okay for us to have these emotions. So now we have Haresh, who is going to be talking about how we overcome these lower emotions.
Hare Krishna. my name is Harish and I'll be talking to you about overcoming lower emotions. So, restating what Mataji said, all of the devotees around us feel emotions like anger and envy, but this is actually perfectly natural. Srila Prabhupada states this many times. But for certain devotees it is actually justified, and for others it is not. For example, Dhruva Mahārāja felt anger towards enemies like the Yakshas because they killed his brother. This is justified because he has a Kshatriya spirit, meaning it is his duty to fight. While for us devotees it is not applicable. So a personal example of mine is that as a child and now I felt anger and envy many times. In all of the situations, I may have not reacted the best way possible, like I may have shouted or stormed off to my room. But this is not what we should be doing. So when emotions like these arise, what should we really do? First, for envy, we should calm down and think about what we have. We should always count our blessings and think that we could work towards the item other people have around us in the future. And for anger, we should take deep breaths and calm down. The better alternative to this is chanting. Chanting always helps in any situation. So once we have our situation calmed down, we're in control and we can act the best way. Lashing out or shouting in any situation never helps and no one benefits. So in conclusion, these emotions are natural for all devotees around us to have. But the key is how we control them, grow as individuals, and become more pleasing to Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Because of his Kshatriya spirit, Dhruva started fighting with the Yakshas. There was a severe battle that happened between the two. He started killing the Yakshas left and right until Swayambhu Manu appeared on scene. Swayambhu Manu gave various reasons to Dhruva as to why he should stop fighting. Now we have Reyansh, who is going to be talking to us about the reasons that Swayambhu Manu gives to Dhruva as to why he should not be fighting, and Reyansh has written an informal letter.
Hare Krishna, Dhruva Mahārāja. My name is Reyansh Singh, and it has come to my attention that your brother was unfortunately killed by one of the Yakshas. Although this is very unfortunate, it has also come to my attention that you are going on a conquest to kill all the Yakshas. I will give a few reasons why this is a bad idea. Reason number 1. Only one Yaksha killed your brother. Only one Yaksha killed your brother, so that means that all the other Yakshas that you killed were innocent and had nothing to do with the matter. Killing innocent people is always a bad thing, and now I will give an example to show how bad this is. Imagine one of your citizens committed a horrible crime. Would you punish that citizen, or would you punish every single citizen in your kingdom? Reason number 2. We must act in a way to please the Lord. Committing mass genocide of a people group is not in a way to please the Lord. You must act in a way that uses non-violence, like holding a trial, for example, where no one gets harmed but the criminal who actually did the action. Reason number 3. Bad karma causes suffering. Your brother must have caused a lot of bad sins, which in turn led him to suffer a death at the hand of the Yakshas. If you do bad things will happen to you. If you do good things will happen to you. Reason number 4. You already knew what was going to happen. You already knew that your brother and your mother were both going to die. So why would you get so angry about it? If you knew that something bad was going to happen, would you get angry at it? Reason number 5. We must act like a role model. Imagine the citizens of your kingdom, especially the children, found out that you were in another city or country, killing all the citizens of that city or country. They would then think that non-violence is the best way to get what you want, and you would be the cause for a lot of sins. All in all these reasons and more are why I think you should stop killing all the Yakshas and move to a more sensible mission. Sincerely, Reyansh.
So after Swayambhu Manu gives reasons, one of the reasons that Swayambhu Manu gives is you should act in a way that you please the Lord. We have Kṛṣṇa, who's going to be talking to us about the qualities that please the Lord.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, I'll be talking about the qualities that please the Lord. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, 12.13 to 12.14, that states the qualities of the Lord. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukakshami Santushta satatam yogi yadatma didhanishchaya mayarpita mano buddhir yomad bhakta samepriya. This verse states many qualities, but some of them are: a devotee shows tolerance, they show mercy, they are friendly, and are equal to everyone. When a devotee is approaching someone who is equal to them, they should be friendly. And if someone is rude or envious of them, they should rather just ignore them or talk to them about the situation. A preacher devotee should show mercy to the innocent by giving them Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And one way we can develop equal vision is by seeing everyone as a part of Kṛṣṇa. One lesson I derive from this verse is that we should be equal and friendly to everyone. From these qualities, I think I possess friendship, but I want to get better at tolerance, as I may get mad at something small that happens. I think Kṛṣṇa loves these qualities, as these qualities can help us with our sadhana and other people with their sadhana. This tells me that if Kṛṣṇa loves these qualities, we should do our best to try and possess them. Hare Krishna.
Verse 4.11.14 talks about we need to act in a way that we are able to satisfy the Lord, and we shouldn't act in a way to satisfy our senses. We have Gokula, who's now going to be talking to us about sense gratification versus satisfaction.
Hare Krishna. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 11, Text 14, there are 5 ways listed on how people try to find satisfaction. Number 1, sense gratification, which helps karmis try to find satisfaction. Number 2, trying to seek knowledge, which is how jnanis try to find satisfaction. Number 3, thinking oneself to be God, which is another way karmis try to find satisfaction. Number 4, trying to perform mystic yogic activities, which is a way yogis try to find satisfaction. And number 5, these 4 ways are people trying to satisfy themselves. But the 5th way is trying to satisfy Kṛṣṇa, which is the best way. Trying to satisfy Kṛṣṇa is the best way because it leads to eternal happiness, while the others lead to temporary happiness. The 4 qualities of people trying to find themselves are temporary, since you always want more, so you're never fully satisfied. But trying to satisfy Kṛṣṇa leads to you getting eternal happiness, since you're freed from all material tribulations. The way to satisfy Kṛṣṇa is by rendering loving devotional service unto him and showing qualities like tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
After Swayambhu Manu advises Dhruva to stop fighting, Dhruva listened to the advice and he stopped fighting. And thereafter, he returned to his kingdom. He ruled for 36,000 years, and then he left for Badrikashram. Thereafter, the two Vishnu Dutas, Nanda and Sunanda, appear on their airplane to get Dhruva Mahārāja to take him back to Godhead. Now we have Akshaj, who is going to be talking to us about who is qualified to go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna. Today I'll be talking about the types of people that are qualified to go back to Godhead. First, the 4 types of people. There are the karmis, who are often envious and kill animals for their personal satisfaction, the gnanis, who perform sacrifices to attain liberation, the yogis, who try to get mystic powers, and the best of all, the Vaishnavas, who work tirelessly in Kṛṣṇa consciousness to try to reclaim their fallen souls. Now, which of these qualifies for Vaikuntha? The Vaishnavas will qualify as they don't want to serve the senses in the material world. They want to serve Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual world. The exact opposite, karmis, they want to serve the senses to full extent. Just like the karmis, the gnanis will try to get liberation as much as they can, and the yogis will try to get mystic powers as much as they can, wasting all their time that they could have used for bhakti. Now, to go to Vaikuntha-loka, you need peacefulness. The Vaishnavas have peacefulness as they serve the source of all peacefulness, Kṛṣṇa. The Karmis don't have peacefulness as they'll do anything to satisfy the senses, even things that are disturbing to the society. The Jnanis will do anything for liberation, and the Yogis will do anything for mystic powers, just like the Karmis. In the end, everyone except the Vaishnavas will stay in this horrid material world due to being distracted by mundane things that do not include Kṛṣṇa at all. A devotee gains qualities to go to Vaikuntha-loka in the association of other sadhus. One of these qualities is being equipoised. Being equipoised means that you see everyone on the same transcendental platform without any discrimination. If a devotee makes a mistake, all he has to do is chant the Lord's name or the Hare Krishna Mahamantra wholeheartedly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dhruva Mahārāja had this place called Badrikāshrama, where he calmed down and later retired. Everyone has these places. My place is my room. I can easily chant japa, listen to kirtan, do homework, or even just simply relax. Whenever I'm out of my mood, I can go there without creating disturbance or releasing my feelings onto others. Hare Krishna.
Dhruva Mahārāja prepared himself to go back to Godhead. He first bathed himself in the holy rivers, and then he wore ornaments and he cleaned clothes. Srila Prabhupada describes how the best ornament for a devotee is the tilak markings. Now we have Sri Lasya, who's going to be talking to us about tilak markings that we apply on our body.
Hare Krishna. Before I begin, let me ask you all a question. Imagine the most wonderful thing is happening to you today. God in your mind? Now think of something even more wonderful. Lord Kṛṣṇa himself personally sending a ride just for you to take you back to him? Wonderful, right? What would you do? Would you rush? Would you feel proud? Or would you feel excited? Today I want to share a short moment from Dhruva Mahārāja's life that shows us what real devotion is. Not just when things are difficult, but when everything is going just right. Dhruva Mahārāja was deeply committed to devotional life. He didn't relax his standards or think, I've already done enough. He stayed alert, woke early, bathed, and applied tilak. All simple practices, but powerful reminders that the body is meant for serving Kṛṣṇa. There are 12 auspicious places where we apply tilak on our bodies. But before we apply tilak, we chant a special mantra which summons all the holy rivers to apply into the water, to appear into the water, which is mixed into the chanta. Gange cha yamune chaiva godavari saraswati narmada sindhu kaveri jalesmin sannidham kuru. With this mantra, we can then go on to applying the tilaka markings. On the board, it shows us where we apply tilak, and I'll be reciting the mantras, which are the names of Lord Viṣṇu, which we have to meditate on while applying the tilak. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha, Om Trivikramaya Namaha, Om Vamanaya Namaha, Om Sridharaya Namaha, Om Hrishikeshaya Namaha, Om Padmanabhaya Namaha, and lastly Om Damodaraya Namaha. With these markings, we not only purify our body, but we also activate nerve centers, which then cools down our body, which leads to happy and satisfied lives. I want to share a short incident which shows us how tilak is really powerful for the body. In the Vedic scriptures, if one does not have tilak, it is considered to be not very sacred. Thus, Srila Prabhupada was really strict about wearing tilak every day. So one day, when he was giving a Diksha ceremony, a devotee went up, bowed down, and got up, and then he got up to receive his beads for his diksha. But then Srila Prabhupada noticed that he didn't have any tilak on his head. He questioned him, "Where is your tilak?" The devotee said, "I'll put it after the ceremony. I have already put it on, but due to the stress of this diksha, with sweat it got shed away." Then Prabhupada replied, "No, you must go, wash your face, apply tilak, and then come. We'll pause the ceremony for you, wait for you, and then only we will resume." This shows us how great tilak is and how our acharyas also proved it to be good, and also the Vedic scriptures. Last thing, we should not put tilak being ashamed. We should be proud of ourselves, because we don't need to think about what other people will think of us or anything else, because we have a higher purpose to re-establish the lost relationship with us and Kṛṣṇa. So we have to apply tilak with pride, but also humility to serve the Lord. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
There is a verse in the fourth canto which talks about how a Vishnu temple is non-different from living in the spiritual world. We now have Akshaj, who's going to be reporting live from a news channel, who's going to be telling us how a temple is non-different from being in the spiritual world.
Hare Krishna. I'm reporter Akshaj Vimali from the Bhakti channel here live at the new Goloka temple. Here's some brief history about this temple. This temple was first looked for its land by His Holiness Pir Kṛṣṇa Goswami Maharaj and some of his associates in the year of 1982. It was a trailer that had a picture of an altar. Every Sunday, the devotees used to have a Sunday feast out in the open on fires and used to make prasadam. Imagine how they persevered through the wintry, coldy nights. A nice detail to know is that Maharaj himself went to Jaipur to personally take care of the deities and get it carved, and then installed them into the new built temple, up in the year of 1985 on Janmashtami, meaning it has been a little over 40 years since there's been 5 aartis every day, 5 bhoga offerings every day, and 2 times changing the deities' outfits, including fresh garlands every day. That's a lot. There are a lot of attractive features to this temple. From the outside, the dome-shaped structure, and in the inside, of course, the deities, and their garments and ornaments, again, which are changed every day. My personal favorite are the deities and the decorations inside. Even Srila Prabhupada says in Canto 4, Chapter 12, Text 29, that the 3 modes of material nature have nothing to do with the temple. They stay outside and they can't enter inside. He then continues to explain in the purport that depending on what place you live in is how the 3 modes of nature affect you. For example, if you live in the forest, the mode of goodness will affect you. If you live in cities, the mode of passion. And if you live in bad places like slaughterhouses, it's in the mode of ignorance. And last, but if you live in or around a Vaikuntha temple, these 3 modes of material nature cannot go near you. Today, I've learned that a Vishnu temple is no different from Vaikuntha-loka or Dhruva-loka. These 3 places have a lot of similarities, as the 3 modes of material nature cannot enter these places, meaning they're separated from the material world, and the devotees reside in all 3 of these places. I am reporter Akshaj Vimali, again signing off from the Bhakti channel at the Goloka Temple. Hare Krishna.
From Dhruva's pastimes, we learn that we are faced with different situations in life where we need to make choices. Even Dhruva had different situations where he needed to make choice. And depending on the choice that he made, the result he obtained. Dhruva sought advice from his mother Suniti and from his guru Narad Muni. So now we have Viraj, who's going to be talking to us about making right choices.
Hare Krishna. I'm going to be talking about making right choices. Suniti told Dhruva to not wish ill for either Suta for Suruchi or Uttama. So Dhruva chose forgiveness over revenge, which brought him closer to Kṛṣṇa, because if he had chose anger, he would have not grown spiritually. Suniti told Dhruva to go pray in the forest. So Dhruva chose devotion over revenge and went to pray in the forest, which purified him and started his spiritual journey, because if he had stayed home, he wouldn't have changed or grown. Dhruva meets the Lord. Dhruva chooses humility over pride because the Lord purifies him. And if he had chosen power or revenge or anger, he wouldn't have found true spiritual happiness. Even in our life, we find ourselves in many situations which we have to make the right choice, like eating junk food versus eating healthy food, or watching sports versus watching video games, or having good association versus bad association. Hare Krishna.
So Dhruva Mahārāja's pastimes teach us a lot of lessons, and Advait is going to talk about some of the lessons that he's learned from this pastime and how he plans to implement these in his life.
Hare Krishna. From Dhruva Mahārāja's behavior, lessons that can be learned are devotion to determination, turning insult into motivation, respecting your elders, not fighting back, and seeking advice from the right person. Dhruva Mahārāja teaches us the lesson of devotion to determination by performing penance for 6 months at just the age of 5 to achieve Kṛṣṇa. He also teaches us the lessons of respecting your elders, not fighting back, and turning insult into motivation from when his stepmother Suruchi insulted him. But instead of fighting back or disrespecting him, he used the insult as motivation to find Kṛṣṇa to avenge himself. Finally, he teaches us the lesson of seeking advice from the right person. When after being insulted by his stepmother, he approached his mother, who advised him to find Kṛṣṇa, which then led him to seek advice from Narada, who helped him achieve Kṛṣṇa. I plan on applying these lessons to myself by being more determined when doing seva, using insults to motivate myself, respecting my elders, not fighting back, and seeking advice from the right person. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
This was our presentation from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Also, this session, the students have been learning from the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. They have memorized 22 verses and they still have a few more to learn. So they will be doing their presentation in the next session. Also, this session, they were introduced to Sri Shastra, which are the 8 verses composed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The students would like to recite the verse before we close.
Cheto darpanam archanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vidaranam Vidyavadu jivanam Anandam purivardhanam Prakikalam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma savalam param vijayate Shri Kṛṣṇa Sankirtanam.
Glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart, brings us good fortune, frees us from the cycle of birth and death, is an ocean of bliss, purifies us, grants us supreme victory, and gives us the most important transcendental knowledge.
Nam namakari bahuda nita sarva shaktis tatrarvita diyamita smaranena kalaha etadrishi navakripa bhagavan mamapi durdeva mitrishamika janinanuragaha.
Your name alone renders all benedictions, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Trinadapi sunichena तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानतेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरिः.
One should chant with a mood of humility, tolerance, and without false prestige or pride, and should also offer respects to everyone.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये. मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि.
I only desire your positive devotion birth after birth.
अयि नन्दतनुजकिङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो. कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया.
O son of Nandavaj, I am your eternal servant, yet somehow I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up and place me as an atom at your lotus feet.
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गदगदहृदया गिरा. पुलकेर्निशितं वपुकदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति.
O my Lord, when will tears flow from my eyes when I chant your name? When will my voice choke up, and when will all my hair stand on end at the recitation of your name?
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितां शून्यायितं जगत् सर्वं गोविन्द विरहेण मे.
O Kṛṣṇa, one moment of separation feels like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like rain, and I feel all vacant in this world in your absence.
आश्लेष्य पादरतं कृतस्तु माम् अदर्शनं मर्महतं करोतु वा. यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सहेव नापरा.
I know no one but Kṛṣṇa as my God, and even if he treats me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me, he shall still remain my worshipful Lord.
So thank you all so much for patiently listening to all these presentations. It was a long presentation, but thank you so much for being here for all these kids. It means a lot to them and to me. Also, I would like to introduce the assistant teacher, Goloka Mataji, who's been helping me with this class. I would like to thank Mataji. She's prepared all the slides and she's been helping take care with the other, coordinating with the other class activities. Also, we would like to thank Ratnaradhika Mataji, because without her, we wouldn't have the inspiration to do this class, and she's always available for any guidance. Mataji is so approachable, and really wanted to thank Mataji for always being there for us. I would like to thank all the parents for your extreme support. You all have been rock solid in providing support to all these kids, sending recordings in a timely manner and sending their homework. So thank you so much to all the parents. Last but not least, I would like to thank His Holiness Dhruva Mahārāja for being here for all of us. It means a lot to us. Thank you for blessing us, and all the senior devotees for being here and watching our presentation. Thank you so much. I would just like to take a quick minute to introduce all our students. We have Madhav, Vedant, Raj, Shivansh, Vedansh, Haresh, Riyansh, Krishav, Gokula, Aksharsh, Sri Nasya. We have another Akshar, Viraj, Advait, Anmol, and Aksharam.
Hare Krishna. I just want to say a big thank you to Nikunja Vilasini Mataji. I am so very, very impressed. She took this class. This is the second session of this Youth Shastra Class, and she's taken it to an amazing level where the students are diving into Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, deriving lessons from it, explaining it in their own words. I don't know about all of you, but I felt very touched seeing them expressing the lessons from the Bhagavatam in these days. And I know it's all due to the hard work of Nikunja Vilasini Mataji. Thank you so much.